President Trump says the U.S. will meet with Iran next week as he continues to criticize anyone questioning the effectiveness of the U.S. strikes on the country's nuclear sites. Fox's Rebecca Castor has the latest from Washington.
President Trump is headed home from the NATO summit in the Netherlands, but not before making it clear that Saturday's strikes on Iran's nuclear sites were successful.
The site is obliterated, and we think everything nuclear is down there. They didn't take it out.
Trump officials are pushing back on a leaked U.S. intelligence report suggesting the strikes did not destroy Iran's ability to create a nuclear weapon. Fox has learned that report is a preliminary low-confidence assessment based on just one day's worth of intelligence.
Those that dropped the bombs precisely in the right place know exactly what happened when that exploded. And you know who else knows? Iran. That's why they came to the table right away.
A lot of their above-ground facilities that are a critical part of a centrifuge program have been destroyed, and so a lot of what really is left is sort of what I call the residuals or the remnants of the program.
A nuclear deal with Iran could also still be on the table. Trump says the U.S. will be meeting with Iranian officials next week, although he's no longer insisting on an agreement.
To me, I don't think it's that necessary. I mean, they had a war, they fought, now they're going back to their world. I don't care if I have an agreement or not.
Both the Pentagon and FBI are working to find the source of the leaked classified intelligence report. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
There is growing concern tonight about the ripple effects on gas prices as the ceasefire holds in the Middle East. The Trump administration strikes against the Iranian nuclear sites over the weekend raised concerns that Iran might try to close the Strait of Hormuz, the narrow shipping lane that 20% of the world's oil and gas flows through. This week, gas prices jumped to their highest level in 11 weeks before falling back when it seemed that Iran did not want to escalate the conflict with the U.S.
You would have a big spike in prices.
And there's really not anyone being spared. All 50 states seeing gas prices go up.
A Gas Buddy says prices will likely continue to go up before the busy July 4th travel weekend, mostly because of demand, not geopolitics. AAA says in most states, this week's increases are only a few cents a gallon. In fact, gas prices are still lower than last year. In fact, 20 cents cheaper than 2024.